All right, Shalom. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. I'm back at you with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash. And it's very clear that America is on the brink of nuclear destruction. This prophecy is even at the doors, okay? And the scriptures say that these nations who are the enemies of Babylon are going to camp against her round about. So as we speak, America is literally being surrounded by Russian military warships loaded with nuclear weapons, armed and ready. So according to Bible prophecy, America's fate is sealed. And really, this is the day that we're hastening for, okay? The coming day of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 1, and it reads, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up." That's the second death via World War III, man. "And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch." All right, total destruction. Verse 2, "But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings." And that's the chariots. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is coming back with the chariots of salvation to gather up his elect. Okay? "And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai." So let's get into this article real quick. Okay? So this is from Collapse News. Collapse.news. The title, it reads, "Biden regime prepared to once again escalate war in Ukraine with another upgraded weapons package." All right, so here it is again. More weapons, tanks, armory are being sent to Ukraine. So as we know that America is aiding Ukraine in this war. So reading on. It says, "The Biden regime is once again moving to escalate the war in Ukraine as Russia is reportedly massing troops for a new offensive to regain lost ground. According to Reuters, the regime is preparing a new arms package that is slated to include rockets with a range of nearly 95 miles, which is almost double the range of rockets previously provided the Ukrainians via HIMARS rocket systems. The $2 billion package, according to a pair of unnamed U.S. officials, will supply Kyiv's forces with longer-range Boeing-made ground-launched small-diameter bomb, GLSDBs, for the first time. The report said the package could be announced any day now as another democratic regime prepares to embroil the country in yet another foreign war." All right, and it came out a couple days ago. It hit the news that Ukraine had received the new weapons. Okay, so as we know and been telling you over these past months, right, that Biden is funding the war. Okay, it says the official stated that the GLSDB munitions will be supplied under the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, allowing the Defense Department to buy arms for Kyiv's troops. Weapons that are provided under the program could actually take months or even years to deliver, as they are based on contract awards, and it's possible that they will need to be manufactured. All right, let's jump down. I want to make a point here before we move on to the video. Right? So it says, Natural News founder and editor Mike Adams, Health Ranger, noted this week that the efforts to continue supplying Ukraine are fruitless. It says while the prostituted propaganda media absurdly claims that Russia is retreating and NATO forces are winning the war in Ukraine, the truth is far more sobering. NATO has already lost the war with Russia. All right, so this is what the mainstream news is not telling you. All right, NATO is getting his ass whooped out there. All right, it says NATO has already lost the war with Russia. Here's how we know: a land war with a major military power is a long, drawn-out slugfest that requires the sustained expenditure of enormous quantities of munitions, artillery shells, rockets, missiles, small arms, cartridges, and so on. To supply these munitions, a fighting force needs to be backed by a strong munitions manufacturing infrastructure or have a huge stockpiles that can sustain the war while supplies are depleted. The United States has neither. No sufficiently large stockpiles and no existing munitions manufacturing infrastructure that can keep pace with Russia. All right, because according to Bible prophecy, Russia is far more advanced, all right, than America. Okay, the scriptures tell us in Ezekiel 38 that the Lord was going to put them hooks back into the jaws of that bear, all right, of Magog and Gog, and Russia was going to be a superior force, all right. It says, which at times has expended up to 20,000 artillery rounds per day. Note, the existing munitions infrastructure in the United States can't even churn out that many rounds in a full month of production. All right. So it's a lot of propaganda, a lot of bullshit. But while everybody's being distracted with the bread and circus, the folly that's going on in America, Russia is surrounding America with warships. All right. So let's get into that. OK. All right. Real quick before we play, it says this is Isaiah 13. Babylon will fall to the Medes, which are the Russians. Isaiah 13 and 17, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. They shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Those missiles, man. Those missiles are going to devour. Verse 19, the point. Isaiah 13 and 19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, fire and brimstone. All right, so let's get into it.
Apparently, we as the United States are slowly getting surrounded by Russian ships. And why isn't the news talking about this? We're talking about Russian warships, nuclear warheads, and hypersonic missiles, and it's not even on the news. And Russian ships off the coast of Hawaii, not even 25 miles. And this has been going on for weeks. And it's just starting to emerge in the news now, I think, because there's so many of us out there reporting on it. They probably feel like they need to start getting on it. And of course, numerous reports of them being up off the coast of Alaska. Many people reporting that they continually get chased off. But if you're anything like me, what you're noticing is a trend of them just closing in. So like I said, I'm seeing all kinds of reports. There's only a handful of YouTuber preppers out there that are reporting on this. We apparently have Russian nuclear missile ships off the coast. We've got many reports up near Alaska. We've got reports of them being off the Hawaiian coast, not even 25 miles. And the new one creating all the buzz is the one off the East Coast, supposedly a Russian hypersonic nuclear tip missile ship with nuclear warheads and hypersonic missiles. And this one is expected to only be around 100 miles off the coast. So is it just me, or does it look like we're slowly getting surrounded? And more so, what's the probability of an attack? And if they did happen to get crazy and pull a trigger, what are the effects? Let's go over it. Okay, so let's start with Alaska, talk about that for a minute, then we'll go to Hawaii, and then we're going to go to the East Coast, which is the most concerning one of them all.
All right, so let's get some scriptures real quick. All right, because this is biblical prophecy of the future judgment against Babylon the Great, which is America. So let's make that point. This place is literally being surrounded, all right, and that's in the scriptures. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 22, and it reads, it says, a sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. All right. World War III, man. All right. The second death, the missiles. Verse 23, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. Babylon, America, the hammer of the whole earth. Okay. It's about to be broken, cut down. Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee. All right. A trap. And thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. All right, because here it is, as we're watching in this video. All right, you have these Russian military warships surrounding the west and the east coast of America, man. Okay, they're in all the waters surrounding America. Okay, so that's the Lord through the Spirit. He's setting up that snare, that trap. It says, O Babylon, thou was not aware, all right? It says, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation, which is the ICBMs, okay? For this is the work of the Lord power Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, destroy her utterly, let nothing of her be left. All right, completely wipe her out. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. All right, and we're in that time where Babylon, America, is being visited. Okay, the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, our power, the vengeance of his temple. All right, so all this is being done, all right, for the Lord's people, the Israelites, the vengeance of his temple, man. Okay, he's going to avenge his people. The point, Jeremiah 50:29, it says, call together the archers against Babylon. All right, those missiles, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Okay, so as we see, all right, America is being surrounded, okay, with Russian military warships on every side. That's the prophecy, man. Camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done. Do unto her, for she have been proud against the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, against the Holy One of Israel. All right, so the judgment, the reward is here, man. All right, this shit is no joke. Okay, this place is literally being surrounded, and people don't even know. Okay, this is not being reported in the mainstream news, and that's how you know that like the Lord said that that he was going to come back as a thief in the night. Okay, people are unaware. All right, that day is going to take that day is going to take these people unawares, as the scriptures say. All right, verse 30. Therefore her young men shall fall in the streets, all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. Right? Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord power of hosts, for thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. All right, and we are here. Okay, this is heavy stuff, man.
So most of us have seen the reports of the ships off of the Alaskan coast, which is, I think, within about 100 miles. And this happens to be Russian ships and Chinese ships. And the reports of those really started ramping up at the end of September into October, which was just a few months ago. Here in this article of Newsweek, you can see it's titled Russian and Chinese Navy ships spotted less than 100 miles off the coast. Now, I'd have to say that spotting these ships up off of the Alaskan coast is probably more common, not as much as being 25 miles off of the Hawaiian coast or 100 miles off of the East Coast. Real quick, this article said a group of Russians and Chinese warships were spotted in the Bering Sea several dozen miles off of the Alaskan island. And this started September 19th. The U.S. Coast Guard said on Monday, confirming Moscow and Beijing's second joint patrol in 12 months. Now, this wasn't just a couple ships. I believe there was 7 or more ships. The crew of Legend-class cutter USCGC Kimball monitoring a surface action group comprising at least 7 ships, 4 of the Russian Navy and 3 of the Chinese People's Liberation Army. And this was according to the Coast Guard's 17th District. A statement said by the Chinese Navy's Type 055 destroyer Nha Trang, which the U.S. classifies as a guided missile cruiser, sailed approximately 75 nautical miles north of Kiska Island. The Nanchang was joined by 2 other Chinese vessels and 4 Russian naval vessels. And they weren't separated, they were all in single file order.
Camp against her round about. All right. Let's add some more scriptures. Okay. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 30, and it reads, it says, Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Verse 31, Baruch 4 and 31, it says, Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall, which are these nations. All right. Verse 32, it says, Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And who is she? Babylon. Okay. The great whore, America. Miserable is she that received thy sons, because what? The children of Israel were brought over here as slaves. All right. To serve hardcore slavery. So miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad at thy fall, okay, your destruction, all right, your slavery, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. You see, because we read about what? That this is the vengeance of the Lord's temple. Okay. Verse 34 says, For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. All right. Because this place is going to get visited. All right. This place is going to get hit. All right. By those nuclear weapons, those nuclear missiles. All that pride is going to be turned into mourning. Verse 35, For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. All right, linking that up with Revelation 18. Okay, going into that post-destruction, this place is going to be turned into a wasteland, a desert. All right, and it's going to be occupied by unclean animals. All right. This is it, man. Right.
As they operated in the U.S. exclusive economic zone. Here's a map of the U.S. CG District 17 area of operation. So it gives you an idea of what area and what waters they were traveling in. So what we know is that they're breaking the rules. They're entering in zones that they're not supposed to be in. Is it by accident? Absolutely not. And more concerning, across the board, the Russians and the Chinese seem to be working pretty tight together, especially when they're traveling in single file lines together. In this photo right here, listed in the Newsweek article, you can see that the U.S. Coast Guard is spotting the foreign naval vessel resembling the Russian Navy. This picture right here, a destroyer from the Chinese People's Liberation Army. Now you can definitely see that these are not ships that are like scientific explorers that got off course. These are warships. These are fighting ships. So I read through a lot of comments. Some people think that it's war strategy. Other people say, don't worry about it.
Man. Jeremiah 51:45, and it reads, it says, my people, go you out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right. Verse 46, unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that should be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come in 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. All right. So we're hearing of the rumors of war. Okay. We're seeing that this place is on its way out. Okay, and the destruction is very near. Verse 47, therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon. For the spoilers are the missiles, for the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yeah, by those Russians, man. Okay. Verse 49, it says, and it says, as Babylon have caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of all the earth. All right. We are in that time. All right. Babylon is going to fall as the slain of all the earth. All right. So, hey, man, hey, we that much more closer every day, man. You know? That destruction is near. This place is surrounded, man. That's the prophecy. Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring. Shalom to you, brothers.